Candace, and I'm a fiber artist. I do lots of different kinds of work, everything from embroidery, beading, weaving, rug making, all kinds of different stuff. Anything, yeah, I kind of just listen to my heart about anything I want to make. So I'm just on this channel to have a good time, and if that sounds like it's your jam, please feel free to hang out, and I'd love to have you. Um, this week, the plan is not super solid, but I'm between two projects, which I am leaning more towards one than the other. But either way, they're both going to be videos happening soon. The first one and the one that I'm leaning more heavily towards because it involves staying inside and because it just started raining today in Vancouver, which is why I'm like, maybe we just do a cozy little indoor project, is that I do have a big stockpile of materials for sewing projects I want to do. The other project that is sort of in the back of my mind and I'm sort of really wanting to get into soon is I really want to do um, like a animated tufted like rug, tufted yeah, animated font to use for this channel. But that would involve going into my art space because for those of you who don't have a tufting gun or don't have never done it before, it is quite loud and messy. There's a lot of fiber dust from it. So I try not to do that in the place that I live. I try to do that in, I have the privilege of having like a separate location that I'm able to do more like nitty gritty art projects in. So that would entail me leaving and going outside, which I wish to avoid, but I do have this little pull towards it, you know? And then actually third bonus project, I let me see if I can go grab it. Okay, I'm back and this is the third project that kind of popped into my head. This one I kind of want it to be its own project and it might take a little longer to finish. But basically what it is a patchwork skirt, so something like this, where I do want it to be like, this is the length, it would be kind of to the knee I think on me, but these are all different tapestry crochet patterns that I purchased online, and I have adjusted some of them to use less colors or less yarn. But yeah, most of these are not, a couple of them are my just designs I made up, but a lot of them were purchased, and I'm working on this little corner piece right here at the moment. But this one is still going to take some time because I still have to do the back panel. But it is one that I'm like really jazzed and excited to work on right now. So yeah, those are the the projects that I think are at the forefront of my brain. Um, but truth be told, like I do just have a pile of stuff sitting in my room that really needs to have something happen with. So I probably do need to just do the sewing. Like, so I have a bunch of different patterns I need to get through, and I just bought a new printer because I have, unfortunately, several times now misprinted and cost more money because I keep forgetting that you have to, when you do the printing patterns, you have to make sure you're not checking print on both sides so that you can tape everything together. And I consistently forget to uncheck that. Is at the library, I think that's set to the default. So anyways, I need to reprint some patterns and I have a number of different ones I want to work on. I think most of them are pretty like beginner, but that's probably where my attention should go. But if you're also a crafty person, maybe this resonates with you. But sometimes it's just hard when you have, when all logic points in one direction, but you are like, ooh, but I would really love to do this completely separate thing, if you don't mind. So, so yeah, I am really excited about all of these prospects, though. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I will be sure to do an update on this, maybe in this video, but also like it will have its own video. So I am really excited about this skirt. I think it's going to be really cute. So we'll see. Okay, so when I say a pile of stuff, I truly mean a pile. Full disclosure, I was up until recently working at Dresso. So due to staff discount, I went a little crazy because this whole entire bag is filled with fabric. So I have a lot of different stuff I want to work on. I think it might be, I will pull out a bunch of things and show you guys all the different patterns and projects that I am considering doing, because I do think that working through this makes the most sense right now. And like I do also teach workshops, so some of this stuff is actually not for me, it's for workshops, but I do need to organize and do that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do this week. A little bit of a time jump. I did end up spending the rest of that day working on my sewing projects. However, what that looked like for me was setting up my new printer. Like as I had mentioned before, I have had a lot of issues with misprinting. So I did end up buying one in the end. I also needed a scanner, so it just made sense to do. But otherwise, please support your local libraries. I didn't mind giving them money. It was just like starting to get a little expensive and inconvenient to do. So yeah, so I did end up setting up my printer and printing my first of my series of printable patterns. So I have those now, and I thought now might be a good time to do two things. Number one, explain, I guess, a little bit more of the backstory of how I got into the situation of having so much fabric, and then also talk about what I want to make. So to start off, not that I really need to explain it to crafty people, but just as like a funny story, I was working at a fabric slash craft store called Dresso. I worked there for a few months, and then I am focusing on other things now, so I'm no longer working there, so I feel comfortable saying that I worked there. But essentially, what ended up happening is anytime I was bored or, you know, like, it was a little slow, I would end up mentally shopping. And then when you end up doing that, you're like, well, now is a great time to purchase because I have the employee discount. So I ended up buying like a whole bunch of stuff just because I have that discount. And I do want to eventually get to the point where most of my clothes are made by myself. And I want to have like a more unique, fun wardrobe. So that's really what I tried to focus on. So now that it makes it like financially responsible to do this, but that's why I ended up doing it. Um, so yes, I have a big stack of fabric I need to get through, and I have some different patterns that I wanted to make. The first thing I wanted to make was a pair of like these palazzo pants. I have been wanting to make palazzo pants for a while, and I came across this pattern, which I think looks really cute and easy to do. I have done pants a little bit in the past, not a ton. I made a pair of pajama pants in, I think, high school, and then I've also made like a jumpsuit situation, but that didn't require. I think neither of those required like a zipper in the back. So while a little daunting, I have done zippers and other things, so I felt comfortable doing it. And I found this really beautiful, I think it's a linen blend. So it's like a nice, breathable, drapey situation. And my one concern with it is that ended up looking like that it will end up looking like pajama pants. But I do also really like the look of palazzo pants. It's just sometimes things don't always like wear on me the way that they do on other people. So I think that's my only concern with it. But I am excited to try it out and make it. Next up, I did really want to make a like kind of oversized button down, and I wanted to, originally my idea was to make one that my partner and I could share, but then upon further like internal knowing myself, like really doing some reflections, I was like, realistically, I will want a different color than him, and I would like to have fun buttons on mine. So although we do share some clothing, I felt like I was gonna end up wanting to do a different selection than him. So I was like, what the heck? I'm buying the pattern. I can make multiples. So I picked out a color that he would like and a color that I would like, and I have buttons that will work for both. So I will be making these. They're both going to be like a men's shirt, but I like wearing like kind of oversized on me, and like to be truly frank, like my partner is a smaller person than me, so I think that it will fit him better to have his own shirt, even though I might still end up stealing it because it is still probably going to fit me if it's oversized. Um, Next thing that I have been doing different experiments with is I've been testing out sun printing, or I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's called cyanotype. So it's like a chemical you can put on um, either paper or fabric that I think it has to be a natural fiber like cotton, but you can do like a sort of a sunblock printing where you will put things on top of it, put it into the sun, and then you will get like a print, like a little shadow print of whatever you put on there. And so the classic thing is like people putting flowers or ferns or things like that on it. And the parts that touch the sun are touched by the sun are like a really deep, rich blue, which I really loved. So I have been experimenting with this. If anybody has any advice, um, I I have noticed that when I try to do kind of like harder edges, or when I try to do the flowers, I'm noticing that I'm wondering if I'm overexposing them or something, but I'm getting a little bit of a softer edge than I would like. And like sometimes things really thin things like stems are not showing up. So maybe I just need to experiment with like the timing of it, but there's a lot of different things I want to try out with this still. And my idea for sewing this into a garment is to do like a patchwork maxi skirt. So I have made smaller squares of the cotton that I will break down even further into smaller patches to stitch together, and have kind of like a flowy, kind of like what's that, like a peasant skirt type situation. But yeah, I do want to try playing around with it a bit more. But the nature of doing so many smaller prints and breaking these up a lot means I get to experiment a lot. So I like that a lot. Say a lot one more time. All right. Another thing that I wanted to make is I had really fallen in love with this one particular Halloween pattern that even though I was working there in the summertime, they really had like a nice selection still of their Halloween patterns of like quilting cottons. And so my favorite one is, it doesn't read super Halloween, and it's a very small, like little tiny print. So it wouldn't really read Halloween super well, but it is very like cute and cozy, spooky kind of vibes. And I wanted to break that up and not have it like a full garment. I thought it might, the pattern is nicer, sort of less is more sometimes with patterns like that, where kind of contradictory, like the less of the pattern you see, the more you can focus and see what it is. The more of the pattern that you use, like sometimes like the less it reads is what it is. So I wanted to do like a sweatshirt that I have like a little like cutout of the pattern on it as like a graphic. So I thought that would be cute. So I did get this sweater and pants set that I am probably not going to do the pants, at least not at this time. But I think the sweater is really cute, although I might elongate it a little bit because it is quite cropped in the photos. So I think I might want it to be a little bit like more like casual fitting. But I did really like I think it is very cute. So those are the things I for sure want to do in this video. Bonus projects if I get to them. I did fall in love with this like multicolored organza that I thought was really cute. But and I wanted to do kind of like a cover up. I've seen people do like almost like a button down looking shirt, or like I'm blanking on what these are called, but basically like a cover up, like like you know something you put over your clothing. But it's transparent. It's kind of these cool mitered edges. I wanted to do something like that because I feel like it might break up that gradient really well, and I thought that might be like a cool way to use it. So that's a little bit more of an experiment. That's not one that I really have ever tried before, so it may not work out. So it is like a bonus that I want to attempt, but we'll see if that ends up working or not. Like I am pretty new to sewing organza, and I know it's not particularly easy to do, so we shall see. I am more on the beginner intermediate side of sewing. Like I have done some sewing, but I'm not like, I make a lot of mistakes. I'm a little bit of a messy sewer. Some people are quite particular, but I, as long as it looks good, and I'm not going to notice it too much, I let mistakes go a little bit. Let mistakes go a little bit too far sometimes. So we'll see. But I think to get that really clean I think to get that really clean mitered edge, I might need to be a little bit more harsh with myself. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. I will have scraps and I will be doing other projects with this, but this is just my plan for right now. The first project I worked on was the Palazzo Pants. My partner walked in when I was working on these and he like exclaimed Palazzo Pants. So that's kind of now how I'm struggling not to say it. But yeah, they were pretty easy to do. Um, I struggle when I purchase pants to find ones that fit right because I'm a little on the shorter side. So it was nice to be able to tailor them down pretty simply, and yeah, they worked pretty well. As you can see here, I'm doing like a little bit of my kick test, and you can kind of see this is before I kind of trimmed it down.
Look at this.
Oh wow, those are really good ones. Beautiful. Change.
Sunshine through.
I got into wanting to make my own clothing in the last few years for a couple of different reasons. First one being, I think like a lot of people, I'm really over fast fashion and really don't, as much as possible, don't want to participate in like the cycle of exploitation anymore. I think many of us are guilty of that in buying into fast fashion and stuff and following trends. But I really want to get out of that cycle. And I also I'm a larger person. It's nice to have more control over how things fit. Even though technical skill wise, I'm not quite there yet where I can really construct things perfectly for my body, but you'll get there the more you do things. And then the last thing is just, and maybe the most important to me, is just like the sense of uniqueness and ownership I have over the piece. I made it myself. I altered the things I wanted to alter myself, and it's a unique expression of like my sense of taste, my sense of art and style. For the little patch detail I want to make, I'm going to use this book that's about the size that I would like to figure out placement and to help me cut out the pattern. All right, so I cut out my pattern piece and I did go through and add a little like doily frame. I might go online and see if there's like ideas for cuter ways to kind of fold at the corners because like it looks good in spots like that, but it was kind of difficult to know exactly where it was going to land. So, but I think it looks pretty good overall. And then the idea is that it would kind of go in the center here. And isn't that so cute? I think it's going to look amazing. Quick editing note, you're going to notice later in the reveal that I did swap out this ribbon for a little bit more of a delicate one just to line it. I just felt like this one in the end was a little too bulky for me. Little update. So I am fully finished with the palazzo pants and the sweater. I am still working on the button down and the peasant skirt. But my decision on the peasant skirt is that it is a little bit more of a complex process and a little bit more interesting of a process than just sewing directly. So what I'm actually thinking now is that it's going to be its own video. But for the button down, I unfortunately haven't shot as much of the process just because I think it gets a little repetitive with the sewing. But this is what it's looking like right now. I still need to do the buttonholes, and then I'm thinking about adding a little chest pocket in this material. I think that might be kind of cute, but I kind of have to see what that looks like with the buttons I've chosen. But yeah, that's kind of where I sit with it. It's was easier than I thought it was going to be. I was a little nervous for this one. Just I still am because I still have to do the buttons. But yeah, those are my updates. The skirt will be a separate video, which most of that is already shot. So as soon as that skirt is finished, that should be out very quickly. But yeah, overall, feeling good. Have a couple last things to finish up, and yeah, I'll have um, brand new shirt, sweater, and pants to instead of just a pile of fabric. So that's great. Final thoughts. I am extremely happy and pleased with how everything turned out. I even had enough material to make an extra bonus shirt, which is really cool. I have a full outfit out of that same pattern. Um, I had never done a button down before. I had never made a sweatshirt before. I had very little experience doing pants. I really pushed myself a lot this video, and I'm really pleased with how everything turned out overall. If you look up close, yes, there is a lot of mistakes. I'm not like the most even hemmed person. Like I really struggle to maintain like when I'm stitching, like an even clean line. So it's not perfect by any means, but I'm getting better and better as I go, and everything turned out well enough that I feel comfortable wearing it. And yeah, overall, I'm extremely happy. I cannot complain. And I will just get better and better if I continue down this path, so nothing to complain about here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please check out my next video coming out will be tackling the sun print skirt. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please check out more. But either way, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.